Hello everybody and welcome to the semi-final of the Guild Ball World Championship. We have some pretty interesting semi-finals.
We do
indeed.
We
have Christian Metz versus the Belgian champion versus Will, the Australian champion.
And that's Hunters v Hunters.
Yeah. And the game you are going to see on stream is Charles Nurser versus Bartek, who we saw in game 1 today.
Guaranteed to see some Hunters in the final. And will it be Morts or Engineers?
Yeah.
I think Engineers would be the surprise, for at least what I can gather from chat. That would be a surprise.
Yes, because apparently Engineers are trash, according to the internet. And the internet's always right. Today
I learned.
Yeah. Do you want to know some interesting facts?
Not really,
Exciting
but
facts.
go for it.
So, we have the Spanish champion, the Irish champion, the Australian champion, and the Belgian champion left.
And none of those people
are from the nation.
So of which
the Irish
they
champion
are the champion of.
is English, the Belgian champion is German, the Australian champion is a Kiwi, and the Spanish champion is Polish. Welcome to Guild Ball, where nations just don't matter, apparently.
Oh dear. Well. What are you going to do?
Teams have been chosen. We'll go through them in a sec, but first we'll go through the plot cards.
So which cards? So I want Bartek's cards, because Bartek is on the left-hand side.
So you get the good cards then.
So Bartek has seized the initiative at a +7, lone striker at a +7, wingbacks at a +4, keep the ball moving at a +4, and get back in there at a +3.
Good cards.
Good cards.
High numbers.
Good hand.
Charles Nurser, and that'll be the last time I do that. Maybe.
Yeah, no.
Charles Nurser. Charles. Grudge match for a +6. Select the crowd for a +6. Stick to the plan for a +5. Back in the game for a +4. And midfield general for a +3. So a nice spread.
Nice spread. And I also think you've got, at least if Bartek plays this similarly to how he did previously, I think you're quite likely to see the momentum generally favouring the Morticians. So even though having 2 +7s is always great, I'm not sure if it's going to wind up being a big deal in the grand scheme of things. We'll see.
So for the
apparently Bartek loves juice. Cool. Good to know. Good information to have. We can make use of that, I'm sure.
It's the standard Mortician lineup we've seen. It is Scalpel, Dirge, Vet Hemlock, Casket, Cosset, and Graves.
It looks like we've got Ballista, Mainspring.
Against, Ballista, Mainspring, Salvo, Velocity, and this Ratchet, but this time Colossus.
Salvo,
rather
Ratchet,
than Harriet.
Velocity.
And Salvo's going to be kicking the ball off for us.
Colossus, and then on the Morticians we have, let me see if I can remember this, Scalpel, Dirge, Cosset, Casket, Graves, Vet Hemlock.
Yep, that's the one. All right, and we are off. And regular velocity over veteran velocity is, I think, an interesting choice after we saw veteran velocity with her amazing abilities yesterday. AS velocity is just more honed in on that striker role.
Does veteran velocity have close control?
It does not.
So I wonder if that's part of it. I also think regular velocity being able to nimble serves as a better snapshot turret, though I'm not sure how wise it is going in for snapshots, planning on snapshots when you're playing against someone as disruptive as Scalpel, but we will see. But you've generally got a lineup here where you've got Ratchet and Salvo looking as the standout easy kills. The rest of them, I think Scalpel struggles to churn through less tooled up. So needs to be tooled up first, and then it's going to be kind of one player goes down a time. Still, across all the Morticians we've seen, this is now our 10th game of commentary. We've seen Morticians in, I believe, 4.
Yeah, they've
yet to see a Casket time. Despite the fact Casket has been every lineup, we are yet to see a Casket time.
So, just quick check for me. Mainspring, Mechanica.
Yes.
Velocity, Mechanica.
Yes.
Colossus, Human.
And Mechanica. So it does have human
keyword.
Ratchet, human, Ballista, human. So it's just Mainspring.
So Mainspring and
Velocity are the only two that can't go in the box.
Interesting.
Be repackaged.
Yep.
Put in a new box. Put on the shelf.
Well, you say reboxed. There's one boxed up already on Ratchet's back.
Beep, boop, beep.
He's got a mainspring ready to go at all times.
Oh, is that a mainspring? I thought it was just a chair because he just sits back and doesn't do much.
Just sits back and
get the old recliner out. I thought it wasn't so much a chair, is it? Like, he doesn't take it off. He just presses a button and it kind of folds down.
Yeah, around him. He gets his slingshot out and just throws bombs at people from the same place. Throws a wrench at someone to fix them.
Then goes all Coldplay on everyone. Fixes them.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, I just been reading chat there. I think Gast isn't a bad choice against a more gunliney list. Fear being a pain.
The gunline just struggles to get Casket dead.
Yeah, there is that.
It's their tough hide. It's just like I think that model serves a similar role.
Yep.
So the kit coming out of Salvo. So I imagine we're going to see a similar Salvo charge to try and get the run.
2 inches to the 6.
Pretty nice kick.
Happy with that. Nice and close to Salvo. And I think, yeah, you were right. We're going to try and see that.
The same play that we've seen previously. Try and get 4 and then sit back into gunline territory.
I was going to say, I quite like Casket with the...
throwing down a ghostly visage to make the charges shorter, less diced.
Yeah. Well, sprint up, collect the ball, pass it back, or just kick it into space. Have someone scoop it up next turn. Get your big rough ground aura in between that barrier and that rough ground, and you'll be like, come and fight me, you're going to be slow.
So we're seeing the Lego head totem poles again. That seems to be quite a popular one with Scalpel.
Charles, I might be incorrectly crediting him, but I think he was one of the first to do it. He's definitely the first person I saw do it about 2 years ago. But it has become very popular.
Just very clear information for
brilliant
your
for
opponent.
Us.
Yeah, makes life very easy for us.
It's also quite intimidating to see that stack be so high.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to do a lot this turn.
Yep.
Good enough.
So it is Casket moving up, hooks the ball. Goes for the pass, which misses.
Pass to Hemlock, was it?
I believe so. That's bad. If this doesn't end up on anybody, tether ball just became free.
Yeah.
Can we go to the bigger camera?
Can we go to the big camera, see where the ball ended up?
Oh
dear. Can we pull the dice cam down for a second, if possible? So we can see where the ball ended up. I think we're trying to figure out the ball path here. Intercepted by Dirge.
Yep.
Dice cam back, please, Ronan. Thank you very much.
So Dirge moving up. So he knows he can't leave that ball loose.
No.
I actually think Dirge isn't the worst person to have the ball on. High def. Harder to knock down, to make that ball scatter and see where it goes. Yeah. Hemlock does have the ball. And now we're going to see the attempt at the goal run from Salvo, I imagine. Because you've kind of got to take it as soon as you can. As soon as it's there, go for it. Oh, I love this style of play. A goal at any cost. I love it.
And the interesting thing is, Interesting thing here is that there is no alternator to speed him up from Pin Vice.
Yeah.
I'm intrigued to see what the game plan is with Ballista. It goes for a more fighting style.
Keep knocking models down that have the ball, keep tether balling it, and keep scoring would be my guess.
I suppose.
Put your fates in ball scatters. It worked in the last game we watched that Bartek played.
Very true.
Charles has no momentum.
Checking there. That was too far for him to go. Starting with the momentum gives you the option to glide across that rough ground.
Yeah.
I think I don't know who chose to kick or receive, but I think Bartek liked to kick with Salvo.
Yeah.
To get this goal threat.
Because you can't drop the ball. There is never a safe place to put it. You drop it somewhere, I'll tether ball it. You put it on someone, I'll just go in and get it off them. Or put my fate in the hands of the gods and knock you down and see where it scatters.
Yeah. So looking here for a 2.468 sprint. Can he get around anywhere near he needs to be with then a swift strikes at the end of it?
Yeah.
Almost there.
So I don't think there's any line he can take where he doesn't have to spend that momentum.
Yeah. And not spending that momentum is the most important thing to him, because he's probably just, without Ballista up there, he can't generate it off of his own shots. He needs that heroic ability to tether the ball after it's scattered.
Yeah.
So we might see Ballista come up, make some shots of his own to get a few more momentum in the bag. In the bank. Match it within 4, do you reckon, there of Ballista?
So, tooled up on Salvo.
Yep. Places down a Blast Earth template. Hits.
Does hit.
1 damage, additional momentum. I'd like to... Well, can you go in the close camera? If I was Charles, I'd be asking to see a measurement between Ballista and Ratchet there. 4 inches.
4.
It's close. There was no measurement made, is why I'd be asking for.
I don't know if there's a measurement made ahead of time. Because he checked to 9 inches from casket. I don't know if when he did that he checked to 4 from Ballista.
Yeah.
I could be wrong there. Kicks to Scalpel.
Veteran Hemlock making the kick. If we go back to the big screen run.
And is successful.
Is successful and
keeps the momentum.
Keeps momentum.
Keep that counter attack in the bag.
Keep the counter attack live. Keep the recover from knockdown live as well.
Yeah.
I love the pressure that Salvo is just putting out by being alive.
It's pretty impressive. Just a wander up from the Crab Man.
Graves moves up, tools up, Scalpel.
Deja vu.
I wonder if that's an in-joke, the I love juice. Or he just really loves juice.
Or he's from the Isle of Juice.
Can we mute him, Marion?
I thought that was pretty...
Thank you. You're welcome, chat. I think he's out the sin bin now. I think we can bring him back.
Oh. I thought that one was pretty good.
So Mainspring there, just jogging up as well.
So the one thing I was kind of surprised to not see was a Hemlock taking damage to Midnight offering Scalpel forward to mean that you need to kind of go the other direction.
Yeah, I get you. If you move up into that cover area with the block
just kind of means you're going more diagonal than you are forward.
Yeah. I guess the issue with that is that you open yourself up to a ballista.
Yeah.
Floored bolt.
Yeah, and then the ball scatters.
And then.
But it could take the goal off the table entirely. You never know with a scatter.
You never know with a scatter, but that seems to be the play that Bartek's looking for.
Yeah.
Or is a play that he can critch onto.
So this is Ballista moving up. And Snake Eyes.
Oh. And that's his only
and then
shot, Minefield. Second wind also there onto Salvo, which is good. Players there for saying they forgot about the dice trays. Just as an FYI, if you're ever on stream, you don't have to roll in the dice tray. If you want to, feel free to. People like rolling in dice trays, but it's never a requirement. Scalpel kicking back to Hemlock here.
Mm-hmm.
Hemlock a 5-0 character. Or is she 4-1?
5-0.
Oh, so she's just as good as Dirge.
And the kick successful.
It's a 4-inch dodge. Wants to go and pick on Colossus, avoiding the minefield. Going to where the proxy base is.
Go and get a lot of momentum and go and start repositioning a lot of things.
Yeah.
So takes the dodge there and then jogs up to the end of that widget. Spirit Bomb would really mess things up here.
Yeah.
Getting those automatic hits on Ballista and Salvo.
I was just checking the wording of Minefield, how it's changed in season 4. And pushes no longer trigger it. So.
Yep.
So Colossus here, an effective 2-1. Pushing herself into base to base as the counter attack comes in.
And marking that he's pushed Scalpel.
Bryce there just getting involved. He's watching the top tables now, saying
just
that was...
sure the right amount of damage was marked.
Yeah.
And it was.
It was.
5 dice back at Scalpel.
Oh.
That looks good.
Looks real good. That's everything. 1, 2, 3 hits. Is that the arrival?
No.
Oh, no, he missed one. Sorry. So 3 hits.
Maybe knockdown.
Singled out. Seems decent.
Yeah. Well, not really. Everyone else is like, it's just Salvo left to go over there, and I suspect that Salvo is going to end up 2 inches back from where he is currently. And you're going to see a second wind come out, and then Salvo will be nowhere near Scalpel. I imagine what's going to happen.
I guess it's one of those questions where if you don't put singled out on, does she second wind away?
Yeah. I think so.
But it kind of just forced that use of the heroic force rather than the spirit bomb.
And then Stoic preventing the
first push,
the voodoo strings. So Stoic used.
So Charles Nessa there using the Icy Sponge tokens as
to mark when you've been pushed.
Voodoo string targets. Swinging again. 4 there. 2 up to 3, back down to 2. 14 health left on Colossus. Options to push. These scalpel activations, when you remember your pushes,
yeah, they're pretty disruptive.
They're disruptive, but they also eat into your clock quite a lot.
So pushing Ballista in the way of Salvo.
Yep, like it. Next attack.
Reckon Mainspring's going to move next, just to block more of that line.
If she can see him.
Yeah.
Again,
model within an aura, so I don't know if it needs line of sight.
So that was it again. Another 2 damage, so 12 health left on to.
So now going for the Spirit Bomb.
Oh, instead of that damage, taking the momentum Spirit Bomb.
Yep. 2 damage, so
10 health left
remaining on Colossus, and a 2-inch push because Stoic was triggered by Voodoo Strings.
Yep. And I reckon we're going to see.
And misses on Mainspring.
Oh, sorry, that was a heroic to do the Spirit Bomb. I am spending 1 to dip away.
1 for the second.
Nice. I would like to have seen Scalpel trying to go in a more straight line, hide behind Colossus.
The ball is all the way back on Vet Hemlock for those curious as to where the ball is. If you look at the Mortician's goal and the model just next to it, that's where the ball is.
Very, very close to their own deployment zone.
Yeah.
Towing the line, you might say. So
uses the heroic to have a go at
Floored Bolt is successful.
The floor bolt.
So tooled up, that's 3 damage to Scalpel.
What? That was on Casket.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh, to get the Swift Strikes.
Yeah.
So 2 damage done to Casket. So Casket knocked down and tooled up. Knocked down and 2 damage. And then taking a charge onto Scalpel. Clock goes back to Bartek, as Charles has no reaction to make.
So 11 dice coming in because of the singled out from the counter attack.
Good roll again.
Is that all of them? Did they? Oh no.
No.
It was taking out the others. I was like,
1, 2, 3 for 5 hits for Salvo. Isn't a wrap, but it could be 4 non-momentous damage if you know you're not winning this.
That's a wrap. I think the 5 sitting there is part of that roll. So he's got the 5 laid out, and then the 1 white one also there.
Could be 4 damage. He's having a think.
So I don't think it's. I think he's got 10 of the Engineer's dice, and then a stack of the other dice.
The Guild Ball
and because that was an 11 dice charge, 9 from his standard attack, and the 4 from the charge, and then 2 from the singled out.
Yep. Yeah, so guys in chat, quite a few upsets.
So he takes 4 damage and 2, so no momentum selected.
6 damage
and
dead damage.
A grand total of 6 damage.
Swinging again.
Gets the dodge, and then should be 7 dice now on this one. It is.
Oh, is that a natural wrap? Or just on a base attack?
That is just a wrap on just a standard roll.
Oh,
and
12 damage.
6, so
done.
that is 12 damage coming out of Salvo onto Scalpel.
And the final attack.
Yep. Last one. So
Salvo up to a 4-inch model. Nice.
So that was.
Oh my goodness. He's hit it. You can do 2 non-momentous damage.
Which goes to 3. So can't.
Oh, sorry, he's not hit it.
Remove, can't remove.
That roll looked a lot better than it did.
Yeah.
It was.
So would leave Scalpel on 1. Takes the 3, leaves Scalpel on 1 health.
Wow. So pause the clock.
So just so everyone's aware of what happened with that salve activation, spent a point of momentum to do a floored bolt onto Casket to then take the Swift Strikes dodge, and then charged, did 6 damage, did an attack, did 6 damage, and then the final attack dealt 3, leaving Scalpel with 1 left. However, does go into this activation.
Grudge match, definitely, yeah. So
And
Charles
choosing who is going to go first. Charles does decide to go first, but he's in a pretty rough spot now because the counter-attack could just get rid of her.
Yeah.
But she's in an easy position where she just deals the damage, and if you declare you counter, and then you just deal some damage that gets you some momentum, heals up, and then spirit bombs and goes back in.
Yeah, exactly. The flex on Scalpel's activations are really strong.
It's really good.
Yeah, and I agree. Charles
should have used the Colossus base to his advantage.
Force that, because Salvo was positioned just near Ballista here. That's a much tighter angle to try and sort it out.
Means that you probably got to use more influence than you would like to swift strikes into position.
Yes, yeah. Heroic, a shot, then a charge.
Yeah. I'm not sure if the singled out was so huge. I think it was dice spikes that were so huge. Like, don't get me wrong.
It coupled together, because otherwise you cannot wrap.
Yeah, it sets up the wrap, but the wrap is not likely.
Yeah.
On a 4-1.
Still Salvo's health, full health?
Yeah, Salvo's on full. Colossus is on 10. Everyone else is untouched.
And players just checking each other's influence totals there after the card effects came in.
So Scalpel.
It looks like a midfield general.
Scalpel is swinging onto Salvo, had no reaction.
Keep the ball moving, played.
Oh, that's not a good roll. That's 1 damage.
1 damage done by
Scalpel onto Salvo.
No counter-attack declared, though.
Nope.
So you don't want to push him yet, because there's no need to. Triggering Stoic. Looking for 4s. That's better.
So the singled out on Salvo is why there's 9 dice from the Grudge match that lets you do that one?
Yes, it is. Yeah. Momentous 3 damage. 9 health left on Salvo. Fires another attack. Momentous 3. I mean, Commentator's Curse about to come out here, but if each of these just keeps doing this...
You had to say it, didn't you?
Yep.
2 more.
2 more attacks and a Spirit Bomb.
Thinking about a bonus time, I think.
And he chooses to bonus time?
I'm not sure if I bother.
Momentous 3 damage, 3 health left. I mean, with the Spirit Bomb, though, you've got that security in hand.
Yeah.
Momentous 3, very nice. Salvo takes out.
So Charles on
the Morticians. I expect a jog back to safety.
It hasn't moved yet.
Takes the 2-inch dodge from the push.
Yeah. Pays the momentum to Spirit Bomb.
Checking 7 inches from
a
base to Colossus. From our angle, again, that looks weird, but it is in. Players can confirm. Does it hit? Yes, it does. So 2 damage down to 1. Double push. Taking him directly away. And then she's going to jog 7 inches back to safety. And then hopefully, yep, there it is, confirmed, 1 for heal.
So she's back up to 5 health.
Good activation. Very good activation.
Very quick for how much happened. Like, credit where it is due. That was a lot that happened. I think that took about 3 to 4 minutes for that. Yeah. There was a lot to get done.
So you hope that the good quick activation, and now Bartek has to think on his clock a little about what his next activation is going to be.
Salvo was the main goal threat, really. There isn't really another one on the board.
Nope. And there is some there's a lot of potential in this. So the reason I think that we see this as the lineup at the moment is that they are very fighty. It's fair to say. There is also a lot of goal threat in Hemlock.
There's a lot of goal threat, and there's a lot of kind of hidden, like it's a lot of flexibility. So you can not put influence on Hemlock and still have everything she can do available to you.
Yeah. So the thing I'm thinking you might see here
is always going to inflict some fear.
Yeah. And can just, if he punches someone, puts out a -4/-4 move from Heavy Burden. That's just bonus.
Yeah.
So what I'm thinking we might see.
So just had a question quickly before you finish that thought. And whether this is round 1, 2, or 3. This is round 3. So there's one more after this.
Yeah. So what I think we might see here is Veteran Hemlock pass to Graves if he's still around at this point.
Yeah.
Dodge 4 inches forwards. She sprints to catch up with him. Hurts herself to Midnight offering him. He moves up. I thought you had 2 on him. Never mind. Was he going to sprint in a shot?
Yeah. So this is the charge from Ballista onto Casket.
So the Rap does nothing with Tough Hide. And Momentum's 3 down to 2. And a point of momentum for Bartek.
So the one thing that I wasn't sure there was whether Ballista can get that far and whether that the rough ground has been forgotten.
Yeah. Unless he had that 1 point of momentum, he didn't counter-attack with Salvo, so he used it to glide.
Yes. Yeah,
I think it's more likely.
Yes, that's fair. Just wondering why there were so many dice, then realised that Casket was the singled-out target of Grudge Match.
Momentum's 3 down to 2, and a single push coming in. Same result.
Yeah.
I do like the spin the D20. It's very obvious what your score is, and
I just have a reservation about marking anything with dice.
That's
if
fair.
You knock it and lose what it was on.
Yeah.
Like I quite like the tracking it with dice, but not by pips. I think that's my favourite I've seen.
Yeah.
You just have to remember not to pick them up when you roll in.
Yeah. I think when I used to play Smoke, my favourite was always having 2 AoE rings that would spare.
Yeah.
1 for momentum, 1 for my spent influence. Keeps it all nice and tidy. I used to have all sorts of systems for keeping tidy.
I believe Casket left on 6 health.
Okay.
Just for those keeping track.
Used to have
6 or 7.
All sorts of systems. There were dice with certain colours for certain things.
I did that. I know I did that with Vet Rage. I had my charge dice, my standard 7,
my bonus times,
my bonus time, my usurper, and then my crowd outs.
Yeah.
So I could kind of just very quickly go, this is this, this is this, this is this. What of the other colour am I adding into it? So Charles apologising for a sloppy bit of movement there.
Yeah. So moving the condition, standing up, just making it a little bit tougher for Colossus, I think, to get in. Tool up goes out onto Colossus. What's Colossus like tooled up?
Not really very scary. With singled out,
with singled out in the melee zone,
can get it done.
Yeah.
If he can hit the column 4 with that 3 damage with the tooled up.
Yeah. Or like even the 5th column.
Yeah. So I think I think that was an overclocked coming out from Ratchet there.
Oh.
Onto Colossus.
Nice, nice.
Should get it done.
That will effectively 4 swings. Yeah, that gets it done.
Not enough momentum to heal Casket.
No. And no momentum coming
from anywhere. It does leave
anywhere.
quite a safe turn open for the rest of what Charles wants to do, because once Colossus is gone, there's not a huge amount going on there.
No.
Quite a lot going into this Casket takeout. Colossus, of course, light-footed, so doesn't care about the rough terrain.
Bug just scooting around. Didn't even need to scoot around, could just walk over. Sorry for the brief silence there, just catching up on chat.
So I guess one thing we can briefly discuss is like, there's a lot of kind of hyperbole that goes around when you start seeing wins coming through from teams in particular. And I'm not going to say that there's always going to be a strongest team, or at least a stronger collection of teams, but equally as important are the players playing them.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't seen Engineers on any list, and here they are in
the semi-final of the World Championship.
Like, they're being played well. It's so this is Colossus coming in. No reaction.
No.
So this is a free overclock charge, I believe.
Yep. Lots of dice. The blind, if it was declared, didn't go off because no penalties have been made.
Knocks him down.
Just takes a knockdown.
With 3 influence on Colossus.
I mean, it was a pretty poor roll, all things considered there.
Yeah.
Now looking for 2s.
And that looks pretty good.
5 damage.
Down to 4.
3 health left. Plus reanimate. Eight hits. That's a wrap. Mentis push. And reanimate triggered.
Yeah. So knockdown goes
Knockdown
away.
is cleared.
So now looking for 3s.
Do the players remember? Yep, they do. Looking for 3s. Oh,
That's
good roll.
That's a good roll to finish up.
Yep.
And that'll be a dead casket.
That's a death.
So 2 all.
2 all. Wonder if he heals Colossus after this.
He does.
Look at that, calling it. Back up to 13.
Yep. I will apologise for the increased rate of silences. It's been a long weekend, and we know we want to make sure we kind of keep our eyes on what's going on and call it right.
My focus here for these games now are people will want
knowing what's going on. What are these rolls for?
Rather than calling what's going to happen.
Speaking of which, that's a pass.
Pass and a
heal.
heal.
Onto Scalpel, getting Scalpel up to 9. And then a jog. This is Cosset, for those not aware of the player, that is. So 5 to nothing in terms of momentum.
So Charles Nurser probably going to play one of his lower cards. +3 for +1/+1 move. Seems decent.
I'm expecting a wing backs or a get back in there. Probably a get back in there.
I quite like stick to the plan for Charles Nurser. Friendly models getting showboating.
Yeah. So I think it's probably going to be a get back in there for Salvo.
Give him +2/+2.
Yeah, it's either wing backs or get back in there. But I think Yo would get back in there because it's the +3. You know you win initiative with it.
Yeah.
You get a cool benefit.
Midfield general was played. First call was right. Should have stuck with my gut.
But I think that's get back in there.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is. Get back in there played.
Cool.
Gasket coming back on, hitting the fast ground. Moving to the extremity, clipping it. Taking the extra move in his activation as well.
I love how clean this is with the tokens under the cards.
It's good.
Beautiful.
Good. Efficient.
It just makes our life so much easier. You see a token pick up during activation, you know they've put something on someone.
Yeah. And Bartek winning and allowing Charles to go first. Good play.
Yep.
Sometimes
going
first.
Fun on for you here.
Yeah. You also get to see where Salvo can come back on safely.
And you also get to force movement of the ball.
Yeah. I'll say something I've found in my inverted commas gaming career when I've played internationally is the Polish are very, very good players, and very competitive at most things.
Yeah. Good communities, really good communities built over there. Excuse me.
It's we've in the pundit program had quite a few new Polish pundits arrive.
Nice.
The game's really taken off there, so I'm really happy to see the Spanish champion in playing Guild Ball.
Salvo coming on, kind of I think where we expected him with Scalpel over there on 6. You don't want to run that risk.
With Scalpel and Casket like that, yeah. Obviously, Charles representing the Irish he's the Irish champion with his English shirt on, so obviously his heart of hearts representing England. English community's been around now since the conception of Guild Ball.
Yep.
It's good to see that the fellow European communities catching up so quickly with their level of skill.
Yeah, like Bartek isn't a player I'd seen ahead of this. There have been some
few upsets.
Some giants slayed.
Yeah, Dominic out, Bots out, Henry K out, Jared out. All these names that the online community are aware of.
Hemlock wandering up with the ball, going for a pass. Dirge does follow up, or tag along, whichever one that is.
Good play to bring the bird along with you, take that threat off the board of getting some momentum at range.
Kicking to Graves here.
Yep.
Does
it's
get
successful.
Time for the lucky winners of the Master Artisans to come and collect their trophies.
So you might be able to hear in the background there, Master Artisan Award is being handed out.
I apologise if I mispronounce this.
Hemlock taking some damage to use Midnight Offering onto Scalpel there.
What was that move from Scalpel, sorry?
That was veteran Hemlock taking 3 damage to Midnight Offering Scalpel up.
Thank you. I'm wearing a headphone. I don't know why I leant in to hear you. It's just a natural thing I do with my bad hearing.
Sorry, what was that? With these big black ear cups over my ears that mean no matter how much I lean in, I cannot hear anything.
Congratulations.
Psychological. So Ballista here measuring up. Oh no! Is that in range? Is that a misplay by Charles? Pushing, bringing her forwards into range of Ballista? Or was that a measurement of Scalpel's threat range on Ballista?
Yeah.
Congratulations, Steve. Round of applause for Steve.
Ooh, cheeky sneeze.
Single figure. And again, I apologise.
Dirge just moving up.
Is Gustav Coleridge. Congratulations, brother.
So, very cagey. It's almost like a reset turn at this point.
Yeah, guys in chat saying it might come down to clock and could very well.
Gareth, you're very loud.
Yeah,
you're just talking to a mic. You don't have to
you're
shout.
in a mic, Gaz. Gaz at home, can you hear Gaz bellowing away in the background? How much is that influencing your game?
And now imagine trying to play the semi-final of the World Championships with that going off. Impeccable timing, Gareth. Impeccable timing.
And he loves the sound of his own voice.
He does. He is the only person, though.
Oh, exactly.
So tooled up going out onto Ballista from Ratchet.
Yep.
No overclocked will come into play. Did have the momentum if he wanted to, but
guys at home are not being able to hear that, so that's good.
No, they say they can hear it at a slightly lower volume, and we can hear it really loud, so I'm assuming it's still really loud.
Yeah, Sweden dominating the painting awards.
Yep.
Did really, really well. Is that a pass from Charles Nurse to Charles Nurse?
It was indeed. So that was a pass from Graves back to Cossack.
Yep.
Just kept the momentum. So I just wanted to be ahead on momentum by the looks of it. But has he?
He does have range. Do you want to go over there, though, is the question.
Scalpel is still very close. Waiting in the wings.
Still very close. It's not tooled up. And I guess all this momentum is getting built up to heal up Scalpel to full in her, well, to very near full in her activation.
And I can only assume that the plan or hope of a plan here from Charles would be, go on, send someone over so I can set them up to go in the box.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, you will eventually, like, you run out of space much quicker against engineers than you do against anyone else.
Colossus backing up.
They get their ranged with pushbacks. They can start pushing you against the edge of the pitch.
So I believe there were 3 different painting awards. There was Best Group, which was won by Steve, I believe it's pronounced Herc.
Steve Herc, yeah.
With some Falconers.
Yep.
There was Best Single Miniature. I can't remember the name of the chap that painted it. I want to say it was maybe Gustav or something similar to that, who had a J-car. And then there was like a wild card or like best.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the last category was.
Diorama
Best Other or something, which went to Paradine with one of his many converted teams, I believe.
Yeah. So Scalpel here just going up, finding momentum in the eyes of Mainspring.
Yeah.
Hits you for damage, a 2-inch push. And players there being like, oh, sorry, I dodged. I didn't actually do damage.
Pushing you. I have 2 damage to push you. And a momentous 2 damage onto Mainspring.
And there's a push now. I reckon we just see Scalpel use these for dodges, generate that momentum. It's no point killing the thing. It'll blow you up.
Yeah, I suspect so. Try and get into cover, maybe.
Yeah.
Problem with...
Takes a momentous 2. I mean, there's an interesting point here to be made that if you do kill Mainspring, you get yourself a point, you've got the ball, assume you get yourself a goal, you put yourself onto 7 points. When clock comes around, that 1 point can be worth everything.
Yeah. And then just, heal, second wind.
Yeah.
Takes a momentous dodge on that one with 1 attack left.
So,
and then final one here.
Have we got Scalpel's playbook to hand? Does she have a damage with a dodge or damage with a push at all? On
damage with a dodge on the 3rd column, non-momentously. Spends the momentum to Spirit Bomb. So this is so he doesn't take the blow up.
Yeah.
Pushes away first, then kills.
The reason I was asking about the push or dodge is that you could 2 damage push yourself.
So Mainspring goes. So it's 3 to Charles Nurser. So the Spirit Bomb paid for with the momentum.
Yep.
Spends 1 to heal Scalpel herself, which puts Scalpel onto 13 by my calculations.
Yep. The player's confirmed as well.
There's been a question in the chat that I'll cover once we've cleared up exactly what's going on here. So there was a measurement over to Casket and also 2 spent to heal up Casket.
Very nice.
Which we believe puts him on 13.
Lultron, once we get a lull in the game, we will come to your question, because I think it's a nice question to discuss.
Yeah.
But we've got some captain activations, and then we'll probably get once they start jockeying for position again, we'll come back. So, measuring up the ballista activation.
I was very intrigued by the choice there to pay for the Spirit Bomb rather than sit on the second wind. I'd have gone for the second wind to go deeper into that half.
Yeah. So what I would like to have seen from this was the 2 damage push to kill Mainspring, but trigger your Spirit Weaver to push yourself 2 inches as well.
Yeah.
That way there's 4-inch gap between you.
Yeah.
You still got the effect, and then you've got your momentum for the 4-inch dodge.
So that is the deadbolt coming in.
Is that 3 damage or 4 damage?
I believe it would be 4 because I believe Ballista was tooled up by Ratchet earlier. Double check that. It would have been 4 damage, leaving Scalpel on 9.
So that heal just negating the... So Costa here sprinting around. Just looking for a tap-in pass to Casca here.
Basically getting it into a situation where Mainspring is your only hope to get this ball back.
Yeah.
Charles just dictating the pace, much like what we were talking about at the tail end of yesterday, where it's that you need to also try and be able to dictate the pace that your opponent scores.
Yep.
That's kind of what he's done. While he has control of the ball, it's kind of all in his favour at the moment.
Gets some momentum. And clock's looking pretty even so far. Salvo heals himself up. Back up to 12. He's just looking at a big 10-inch sprint because of the clock card. Get back in there.
Yep.
And that's Casket's activation. Clock back on. Casket to activate. 2 to spend. 2 spent to stand up Scalpel. 1 to heal himself. So momentum is 1 to 0. Then he's going to go for a sprint. 2.
Well caught in the chat. It should be 3-2 to Charles Nerter.
Yeah, we did say that. All right, so
I'm going to go through some questions at the bottom first. So why was Bryce not playing in the finals as a staff member and needed to be running the event?
Yeah.
It's pretty awkward to be having to run an event you're playing in. So that was why we had David Cameron in place of Bryce. What else have we got? Just to check that I got them all before we get to the big one. Yep, that's the lot. So question in. What's your feeling about the whole weekend? High-end game is more fighty or goal-orientated, or is it impossible to say? I think it's always been a case that playing for goals is riskier.
Yep.
And I think it is at a point where, for the vast majority, you're looking for a mix.
Yeah, I think if your only path to victory is 3 goals, then you're
going to struggle.
You will struggle to get that third. You see your team built very well.
And they will take out models to catch up and then eventually close it out. So I think generally had I been playing, I'd be looking to make a lineup where I can get a goal early, I can get 2 takeouts in the middle, and then I get a goal at the end. Is what I'd be fishing for.
I really liked Jared's lineup we saw yesterday twice. They had very good brawling capability and fathom for the breakout goals.
Yeah.
They did play their game plan cards.
It was wing backs.
Wing back from Bartik and back in the game for Charles Nerser. So Charles being able to reallocate model influence from a model taken out in case something happens, I guess.
Yeah.
And
that turn did go to Charles, and Charles saying for Bartek to go first.
Yeah, the reverse of last time. Remaining cards is Silent to the Crowd, a +6, and Stick to the Plan, +5 for Charles. And
then we've got Lone Striker and Seize the Initiative left for Bartek.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
I think he's just struggling at the moment to get into a situation.
He
kind of said at the start of getting in that situation where you've got enough momentum to be able to get you so that +7 beats out what Charles is playing.
Yeah. Now, what is interesting about this scenario we have here is that
so Mainspring.
So Mainspring charging here into.
Is he in range?
Well, he gets +2 and he loses +2. So as long as his base moves in, he's good. Yeah. And Botek wanting to use steppers or ball path marker to make sure it's as precise. Point I was making was I actually quite like Charles' playstyle in this because he has Midnight Offering. He can very comfortably and reliably have Scalpel go in towards the end of the turn.
Go and get one.
He's got the ball, so he can generate momentum in the early turns.
There's nowhere you can go where with what's that? 16 inches of movement plus a melee range that you can get safe, plus the Spirit Bomb push in if needed.
We're going to see a tackle kick off the pitch.
So this is kind of what I said at the end of the last turn. It's kind of on mainspring to see if we can get that ball out.
Double dodge and the tackle. Oh, momentous thief.
Yes.
Very nice.
That's why I wasn't sure about Casket going and standing next to the bird.
Yeah. Takes the double dodge away.
So it's got a 1 inch range.
Yeah. And measured to make sure that's why he got the marker out.
Yeah. And kicks the ball off the pitch.
Doesn't need to roll because it will happen with a range of 4. He's got a 4-4 kick. He's well accurate. Blue is for direction. Well, the ball's back in play for
Scalpel. If I was Charles here, I'd be seeing if I can get a goal, take advantage of it. So the way I'd be looking about going, that would be a sprint up towards the ball.
Yeah.
It would be a Spirit Bomb on
Colossus. No.
Probably Ballista, just because I don't want to deal with close control.
Yep, got you.
I mean, has the momentum, doesn't need to do that part, but I would be looking for that part.
It's the efficiency with your...
and then Charles just accepts that you're gonna be able to get a goal out of this.
So I'll take a goal as well.
I'll do what I can.
Charles here getting out the steppers, making sure it's all super duper accurate.
But the reason I think he saw it as too much of a risk to try and kick it across the field is there is a lot of Mortician's players standing there that could easily intercept
it.
Well,
I mean, given the...
because he didn't have the influence to do the... Oh, so it could do long bomb. But when it says this model may use long bomb and make a pass without spending influence, so does that mean you can't kick into space? Pass and kick into space, two different things?
I don't know if a pass has to target a model or if a pass is just a kick.
Because long bomb only counts on a pass. So it says when this model makes a pass. So it'd only be a 4-inch kick across the pitch, which is why he couldn't go across the pitch. It wouldn't really go far enough and likely be intercepted. Because the point at which you are placing your target spot on the pitch is only 4 inches away. So the kind of the directions that the 1 to 6 template can take it would have almost guaranteed leave that on a Mortician player.
Throwing out a Spirit Bomb. Hitting both. Hitting both, clever.
So 3 on Ballista. Hits it. 2 damage down to 1 damage with the 2-inch push.
Pushing away.
You go away.
Couldn't get in range to drag them in with the Spirit Bomb, so...
Yeah.
And 2 damage down to 1 onto
Colossus, but Stoic triggered. And then has a shot on goal. 3 dice.
Check her Scalpel's kick for us. She's 6-inch here.
Yeah, I think it's 3-6. Yeah, 3-6.
It's good. That's a goal.
And that does go in. So that is 7 to Charles Nurser.
7-2. And
long bomb only affects a pass. It doesn't affect a kick.
Guys in chat, if you have got your rulebooks handy or you got your browser open and you're available to, you can just double check whether a kick into space counts as a pass into space.
So according to Van Woezel, there's only 2 kicks in the game. It's a pass or a shot. It's a pass into space.
Yeah.
So it is classed as a pass. So it would have been an 8-inch kick. Yeah. But even so, I think I'd have kicked
with
it
the
off
scatter,
the pitch.
you have, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6 directions are good for you.
Yeah.
So I think the kick off the pitch is just safer.
Yeah. I agree.
So the ball bounces right up the pitch. Got shivers then. It's getting cold. And the interesting thing here is that...
Yeah, this is really bad for Bartek.
Bartek's playing a scoring game and he can't.
Well, no, it's because he loses mainspring now and then he's a goal away from losing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he can't score.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not looking good.
No. Bartek asking, can you collect the ball from here? I said, with Vet Hemlock, yes, you can. You sprint, you bin that offering, you kick it back into your scrum.
Yep.
Then ball goes up. Pass to Colossus.
Get that ball safe.
Yep. It's successful.
Looks like choosing to dodge.
Yeah,
I think the biggest issue that's occurred here was ultimately as soon as that pack broke and you saw the kind of game there's like a line straight down the middle of don't come into my land. Charles having the ball was a big deal.
So the Mortician's just starting to go gang up on his mainspring. Now, Scalpel is out in the sticks a little bit, but there's so little damage from this point in the game.
It's just the range at which he's sitting at just prevents him from being able to get any sort of additional dice and any sort of consistent attacks, and it's all going to be at range.
Yeah. Tool up Overclock Colossus. Sprints with Hemlock now. And read an offering to safety and be like, well, there goes your one plan.
Yep.
Bird's just going to fly to engage mainspring.
I think Charles is just going to be looking like further into the future here and going, kill Scalpel, go nuts, I don't care.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I do not see where your other points come from to close the game out. Like, I do not see how you can protect that ball for long enough without losing models quicker than I'm going to lose models.
Yeah.
Goes for the deadbolt. Looking for 4. Gets it. 3 damage. 3 damage. Knockdown. Does not push, so 6 remaining on Scalpel.
And second wins onto Colossus to bring him back to safety. After his activation. Graves coming in to buy some attacks on mainspring.
Mainspring's going to do a lot of damage when he blows up.
Yeah. Although I guess you got the thing of you might just push him.
And the 2 damage with the bleeding, so only 2
check
left.
Mainspring. Is it only in the activation phase? Yeah, you just let him die in the end phase to bleed.
Yeah.
Don't take your damage. He's activated. No one else can get within 8 inches.
So he has to kind of be actively finished off.
Yep. He just sort of powers down in the end phase.
Passes to Ratchet. Does get it. Takes the momentum.
Free charge, then 1 attack.
And he does not defensive stance.
Let's do a read.
4-1 coming in. This went well really last time.
Yeah.
3s and 1 because knocked down.
6 health left.
So that's 5 damage on that first one. 1 health remaining on Scalpel. And Scalpel goes down.
Or dies, 4 points.
So 7-4 with Colossus claiming second victim of the game. That's the first time I've ever said that.
Big stumpy robot. And then 4-inch dodge back. And for guys at home, the casket time does not work for mainspring if you're thinking it. A change in Season 4 is that it has to be human.
But I'm still not sure on how this goes for... not sure how Bartek can really close it out. Not sure how he can really get back into it.
Yeah.
Primarily because I can't see where 4 VPs come from. The other 4 VPs come from.
And Colossus there confirmed just out of cover. I mean, what's Colossus' health on? He wasn't left on a lot, was he? 12.
I believe. Looks like 12 on the card as well.
Oh, could we see a Midnight Offering, tag along bird, charge, tag along bird?
Potentially. I think if Charles manages to get another 2, it's pretty much game over for me.
Yeah.
Charles is also up on clock, just.
Yeah. Remember those 3 minutes are huge when you're 3 points ahead.
He's been very efficient with his Scalpel activations.
So, measuring out here for the Midnight Offering and then...
Charge. So that's a Midnight Offering from Cosset.
From Fair Hemlock onto Cosset.
And then 1 left after that. And she'll just sit on that because she's got nothing to do with it. So Salvo's probably going to go and knock her down. At least think about it. No, just going to wheel back. And heals. I believe put Salvo back onto full health. He did indeed forget to tag along on that one.
Time goes back onto Bartek so we can check the playbook for Cosset.
So dice pool being built up for Cosset now.
Big dice pool.
The lack of those dirge tag-alongs really hurts.
It's huge. It really hurts. Yes. It is 100%.
So it doesn't actually matter in the grand scheme of things.
I think, did tag-along change them? Because I remember Tentacles used to tag along on everybody.
Not sure. It says it's once per turn now, so... So, Mentus 2 down to 1. So I believe Colossus sitting on 7 health.
Yep, players get that correct. No explosion. Dies to burnout. That's Charles on 8 points. So 8-4. And the worst place to be for a goal scoring team is 8-4 down.
Yep, because you can't score to catch up.
Cards played.
So I'm not sure which of the sevens was played.
Yeah. So sell it to the crowd.
So it was seize the initiative. Seize the initiative, I think.
And Cosset is getting dodged 4-inch backwards from seize the initiative. And Charles Nurser there with the option to go first takes it.
Yep.
That was done off clock by the looks of it. These should be on clock for what it's worth.
I think the route for Bartek winning this is missed.
I'm a rough for influence allocation.
Yeah, I think if Bartek scores and then Charles tries to go for a goal rather than continuing to protect the ball, then that could be an avenue back in. But I think, assuming Charles is a pretty smart guy, I imagine he knows you go and score. I'm just going to keep the ball safe, and then you're going to spend all of your clock trying to work out how to get it back.
Yeah.
And I will probably get takeouts to get me there.
I think Scalpel there going in for the salvo kill by the looks of it.
Or goal run. Scoop that ball off Ratchet. He's easy to hit. His counter-attack isn't too scary when you Scalpel. Hasn't got close control. I like it. Hollywood. Will you bear in mind at this point, Charles is, this goal wins it.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't score, he doesn't completely mess everything up. But if he does, he wins it. That's what I'd be looking for, personally.
I get it. I just 3, 2,
that is close.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Will is in the finals. Apparently.
Will beat Mets.
So.
All the upsets in 2018.
That was Theron versus Scartha. Theron winning.
Wow. Yeah, in a Theron-Scartha matchup, I don't think I ever put Scartha down on the table because she gets controlled out.
Pinned is pretty grim.
For footballers.
Despite the amount of dodges she has, you just dictate when she can have them.
Yep. I'd really be expecting Theron in that matchup.
Yeah.
So we'll be back on stream. Which one of these players will be back on stream? Charles burning precious seconds on his clock looking for his widget there. Yeah, I agree.
I'm not so sure.
I think this game could come down to clock. Both players are pretty standoffish, and bar like one big flash of action on either side, there's not much going on.
But I think Charles is looking to close the game out here and now. That measurement was good. He's within range. He's going to take a parting blow from, is that velocity or is that salvo down?
Salvo. I think Salvo has a knockdown.
Salvo does not have a knockdown.
He doesn't care.
So he'll go in, be safe. And I like it, but I like scoring goals, and I'm silly. But I like it. I like the plan, and
definitely.
Whether it works or not, I really like it when someone sees an opportunity to close a game out and will try and close a game out.
Realistically, he has 2 chances at this. This time, when she dies, and she comes back on the next time.
Yeah.
Or just, if Bartek's locked out of scoring until he gets 2 kills. If this fails and Bartek turns his attention to Scalpel...
But I think the way I see it is, even if it fails, he's almost guaranteed to get the ball. He just hoofs it back into that back corner, and then you have fun going to collect it.
Yeah, that's fair.
There is if the goal run doesn't... It may be that the intent is never a goal run here. It might be the intent is going at the ball off Ratchet and kick it back over where Bartek's dice are.
Yeah. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7... 2 more inches. Checking the 3. It looks good from our angle.
Yeah, it looked good the first time he laid it out with all the widgets.
Jogging to
so he
here.
just jogs to there, and then he's going to
push himself.
Spirit bomb. Or just, buy an attack and then push himself.
7 dice, 4s. 1 damage to Salvo.
I still find it really weird saying push myself. To me, a push is enemy model, a dodge is a friendly model.
Yeah. I do wonder if Voodoo Strings will become other model.
Momentous 3. onto Ratchet.
Mintus 3.
Pushes Ratchet in.
He's contact that way.
And then the counter attack coming in. So Voodoo Strings, not Voodoo Strings, Spirit Bomb not used yet. 5 dice coming in.
5 dice.
4-1.
3 hits.
2 down to 2 for armor.
Takes a single push to get back into the salvo melee zone.
So it shuts down any opportunity of a goal run.
Does it?
Yeah. She's got no way of moving past really now. Not to make up that distance. So I think it's going to be basically get the ball and then kind of dodge past to kick it into the area that I'd highlighted earlier.
Yeah.
Takes Momentous 2 and pushes Salvo away.
Salvo.
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 I like the marking of who I pushed.
Yeah,
that's smart.
It's good. It's good. That's the kind of thing that comes about because in one game you forgot who you pushed, and then you
you're like, I need to find a way to mark this.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get back into this corner. Thank you. Clock advantage has deteriorated, though. It's been a big activation for not much gain.
I think there is going to be a big gain. There it is.
Takes the tackle. Where's the ball getting kicked? That's the question.
It's got to be into that back corner. Pays momentum to Spirit Bomb away. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking for. Now, can you Spirit Bomb yourself?
It's a target enemy. Just wondering which...
So it's just the enemy models that suffer the push.
So, it's in.
So, 1 die on Ballista.
Yep, because he's crowded out. Or she's crowded out, I should say.
Hits it on Ballista. So 1 damage on Ballista because of Tough Hide. Pushes him back into the corner. And Velocity misses in a shock to nobody.
Spends 1 to actually second wind. So no kick. I'm lost as to the plan now. The plan obviously to go in and score didn't work.
Yeah, I'm slightly... I felt like there was a plan and I'm not sure if that went to plan. Everything, like, the only thing that missed in all of that from what I can gather that kind of didn't go to plan was the lack of the Spirit Bomb hitting Velocity. But I don't feel like...
So knockdown at range, scatters. So 3 damage in the knockdown there onto Scalpel.
Yeah. It does do 2 damage and not just the push, yeah. Ballista only takes 1 because of Tough Hide and it missed Velocity.
And charging in with Ballista. Jogging in, sorry.
Yeah, like she dies
punching.
now. She only got 5 health.
Yeah.
Don't think she was healed unless I missed it.
2. Mintus 2.
Scalpel's got 1 left, I think.
Lever.
And then it does attack another time.
Have to kill.
And Scalpel
and so 6,
removed.
8.
Yeah, I'm really not sure about that one.
No. And it's not like I don't think the push even stopped the goal run. Like
no,
this.
no. As I don't understand the lack of the. I had assumed there was going to be a boot into that space at the top at the end. And he's like, yeah, you can come and kill Scalpel if you like. I'll heal her up. Come and kill her if you like, but any time you spend doing that is time you're not spending down here.
Bartek now playing quick on clock, seeing he's got the advantage, and will press it, I think, really hard now.
Oh, yeah, I do nothing if I just put all of my players surrounding that ball.
Yep.
That's why I wouldn't have killed Scalpel.
Yeah.
Because now you don't get to bring Scalpel on, not in the middle of all of them.
Yeah.
Granted, if anyone can get out of that, it's Scalpel.
Yeah.
Just doing 1 damage a time on something.
Or just drop the spirit bomb right on your head, push everyone away, and just leave. I reckon.
No, I think this is in Bartek's favour now. He's got the ball. He doesn't need to score.
He's got the ball.
Doesn't need to score. He's just going to sit, protect that ball.
Charles needs to be super snappy, forcing decisions on to Bartek here. Bartek. I know a different
pass
Bartek.
over to Colossus. And goes for a sprint. Like I don't think he's looking to. It's now in a position where Charles has to make something happen. Weirdly. And I don't know if that can now. Now Charles has to be aggressive, and once you have to start being aggressive when you didn't want to, you make mistakes, or not even make mistakes, but you have to take risks.
You take risks, you have to think. He's 4 minutes down on clock. I think Bartek kept his nerve. I think Charles has made a terrible mistake in sending Scalpel in as he did, and not with any
Didn't
big gain out of it.
Anything from it.
Yeah.
No. Leaves me curious as to what the plan was, because I feel like something with the plan must have gone wrong for it to end up as kind of lackluster. Feels a bit extreme, but lackluster is the word I'm going to use.
Yeah.
As opposed to getting anything meaningful done, and ultimately he sent a captain in, tackled a ball, ran and hid around some terrain, and then died.
Yeah.
Is the the TLDR of what happened. Got a load of momentum and then has spent it all.
Yeah. It's midnight offering to within 10. So Charles there saying that your base is too big to actually charge me from this angle. You have to go out wide to get your base past, but that leaves you out of melee zone. And if that's your activation, Charles, you need to be quicker on this clock, buddy. 5-minute lead. No, don't do this.
I'm not sure if his plan ever was the goal run, because for the goal run, the start, if that was going to be a goal run, it had to be a charge to start it off in my eyes. Like those 2 inches at the start were very important. With Scalpel's activation.
Yeah.
As soon as it was a jog, I had assumed it was never intended to be a goal run.
So a successful pass to velocity there, a dodge up the pitch. And then a walk. And
Had a question in chat. Hi, where can we buy Season 4 cards for the players, please? You cannot, is the easy answer, right?
Yep.
We're hoping to have some print-on-demand services set up within a month or so, but we do not sell the card packs anymore. We did a limited run. And they're gone.
Sorry, I'm listening to the players. Result taken there was a knockdown. Decides to discard the knockdown and choose a single down instead. Was momentous. Get more dice on the extra attacks. Cosset does 4 damage to Cosset, leaving Cosset on 9 or 8 health. 8 health.
8, yeah. Cost Cosset are furious.
Okay,
and Gaz is back.
You have all been waiting for the result inaugural raffle at SteamCon.
Oh no, the raffle's just about to begin. This is going to go on for a long time. Charles Nurser, after that activation, I don't see a way back in.
The first one is a yellow ticket, 257. 257, yellow ticket.
That's me. Joking.
Yeah.
I didn't buy a ticket.
I forgot to mention that this is for limited bolt. I did forget to mention that one. So, there you go. Thank you very much.
Cosset there, making a move into base contact with Colossus. And
Place an attack, counter is declared. Just to make him think more about the result, I suspect.
Yeah, definitely. 2 damage, down to 1. The counter is 4 dice, plus 2 for
so I
the
believe
singled
Cosset
out.
was tooled up, because I think that stayed at 2 damage.
Yep, great roll. And that's a knockdown. Knockdown, bad choice. No counter attack. Momentum to stand up. He spends one to stand up. And attacks again.
Colossus on 4 health.
Yeah.
Sorry, is it 4? Yeah, it's 4.
Costs on 4. And just the 1 damage, which stays at 1. So yeah, she has been tooled up.
Yeah.
Those attacks. Back to the shadows. Get out of there.
Probably go for a heal as well.
They've taken you back to the shadows now, I guess.
Oh, right.
Yeah, good point out from the guys in chat. Colossus is human.
Colossus is human.
Colossus is human.
After all. Yeah, that may be the plan, but if he goes in, I'm assuming that you're going to see Bartek win initiative here. Yeah. He's going to send Colossus in. Colossus is likely to get rid of Cosset.
Is he going for a goal?
Yeah. And then try and finish off Cosset with Colossus.
Yeah.
Goes for it.
Goes for the kick. Goes for the shot on goal.
That
scores it.
In.
And stays where he is. Interesting.
So he knows he's going to get initiative.
Yeah. 10-8.
Because he's the only card he's got is a 7. He played the other one. He's up on momentum. He knows he's going to win it. Yeah.
How much influence can Colossus take?
3.
Black direction for the kick here.
But Lone Striker is the card left, which would be at a -1
-1 attack. 4 dice, 4 health.
Oh, did he go for that? I think he went for that goal too early.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I was like, you get the kill and you go for the goal to seal it. You don't go for the...
Yeah.
Still on the pitch.
Yeah. Yeah, we know that Bartek definitely wins on a +7. Like, it's mathematically impossible for him not to.
Showboating for free. -1 attack if you have initiative. Charles needs to click the clock back over to Bartek. Bartek's got the choice of initiative, and it's ticking down on Charles's clock here. Charles needs to pause the clock.
He has now paused the clock.
Yeah, good. And Charles calls him out, well, you put it on my clock whilst you were deciding if you want to go first or second. That's bad sportsman. Like, sportsmanly.
It is an orange ticket.
So Bartek going first, knowing he has to. Cosset on 8 HP by my count.
And the same on her playbook. On the same on her card on the table.
And that is not doable for Colossus at -1 attack.
No. Oh, at best he can hit 4 each time, right? 3, 6, 9. So it is technically possible.
No, because he'll be rolling 4 dice.
Yes.
So you can't ever so you can go 3, 3, 2. Or 3, 3, 3.
Yeah.
It's the only way you can get there.
Yeah,
and that's not happening.
So, well, stranger things have happened.
That is fair.
We saw a kick that was safe get kicked off the pitch, but then scattered for Bartek to score.
Bartek's route here has been blessed with fortune.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Punched my mic in excitement. Come on, Charles, just be quicker, pal. Nerves have set in.
That being said, like, does he need to rush? He knows ultimately he's in a situation where you kill Cosset and win, or don't, and I score and win. Like, that's where we are now.
Yep. Well, you could cross it and you win, or I put you in the box. Thing is,
I don't think Casket can put in the box.
but with Scalpel first, stab, 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 stab,
So this is
down
Salvo looking to go and knock down, scoop, tether ball, shoot.
I love it. Oh, that's velocity.
Oh yeah, Salvo's right down at the bottom.
Velocity cannot reach for the shot.
Yep. If the model in the middle of the pitch was Salvo, yeah, that's what I was thinking. But it's not, it's velocity, so she can't really get there. But it will take a huge amount of clock time to get that Casket time off, but I don't think it'll take 2 activations to do it.
It's fine. You've got an activation in hand.
It's like he's not in a rush in terms of that. He's got plenty of the time.
I mean, if I were Bartek, run Colossus back, clock him.
Yeah, it has to be. If you want to win, Colossus, the first activation is Colossus runs away.
Colossus runs away, and you win on clock. Like this, there's a lot that can happen.
Well, it's not you necessarily win on clock. It's he doesn't score and you win on clock.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
What are the options here, I guess?
Colossus rampages in, knockdown, hopes for a good scatter that lands on Salvo, and then heal up Colossus and hope he doesn't die.
Yeah.
Well, not even hope he doesn't die. He cannot lose from that turn. So I would be charging in with Colossus, knocking down, hoping for the knockdown on Scalpel, hoping that the ball scatters Scalpel off the pitch. He's going for the...
You talk crazy.
So he's going for it. 4 dice.
He's going for it. Can't do it.
Momentous singled out.
It's back on. 6 dice. Stop. Bonus time it, mate.
You have to.
You have to do this.
He does.
He does bonus time it.
So he can't bonus time the next one.
1 damage. Impossible.
Yep.
It's off the table. Knock down. Knock down. Push. Takes 6 damage. Leaves us stood up. Interesting.
He has no momentum, Charles, but you have no time. Go, go, go.
Go, 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 go. There's no time. There's no time, Charles.
I think he's going for the safe option of the box. I think he's going to go Cosset, soften up. No momentum for heals.
No momentum for counter-attacks.
He knows the ball's safe where it is.
Yep.
Jogs around.
Speed, though, Charles. Speed. I know you've got the 1 minute activation afterwards, but speed is key.
Okay, so here we go. First attack.
Oh.
Momentum 2 down to 1.
He just wants that again.
No, he needs more than that.
No, he wants that again. Momentum 2 down to 1. 1 health left on Colossus.
Yeah, that's what you want.
Then big charge,
then
legendary.
He heals.
Yep.
Well, it'd be legendary charge, right?
Legendary charge, yeah.
So that is a yellow ticket, 457. There we go. One of the lights come on rolled up.
These guys with their guns just a little bit too far out to get the knockdown. Not that it would matter with a Scalpel walking base to base, pass the ball to Casket.
I like it.
As soon as it happens, he's done. Go. Bonus time in it, just doesn't. Gets it.
Hits it. 4-inch dodge.
4-inch dodge forwards. Yep, like it.
Go over this way so you can't interfere with it
with your range players.
Who I think are probably too far away to do it anyway, but he doesn't have time to measure all the way across the table.
He just wants to make sure
that he's in range.
He's in range to charge, because that would be the saddest. And second wind him as well. That's well in range. Oh, I've got the shakes, I'm nervous.
The defensive stance from a charge of velocity onto speed. I suspect this is game.
Nothing on the charge. The other attack comes in. Nothing. One more. 1 damage over to Charles. Casket time declared. Charge coming in. No momentum generated. Nothing can be done about it.
Move on to the obvious sign.
His opponent just saying, just roll the dice. Doesn't matter. You've got 2 damage on 2. You're going to do it.
Yep.
4, 3, 5.
10 dice. 2s and 2.
And that is game with a casket time.
Well done to Charles there. Oh, I'm nervous. I'm tense. Charles makes it to the final. Engineers knocked out. It is Morticians versus Hunters. Maybe the internet is right.
So that was really fun game to watch. It was weird towards the end. I think Bartek.
That was tense. I think he threw it.
Big misplay. Shouldn't have. Don't take the goal.
Shouldn't have committed.
Game is yours.
Don't take the
goal. Disengage entirely. Game's yours.
Score that goal once you've had 2
Charles tried his best to let him give him a route back in.
That's just Charles Mercer all over, though. He is so polite. He's like, here's your chance of victory.
Chance to win. Take it.
Take it away.
It's there, just for you.
Right unlucky Bartek. Fantastic play from you to get so far.
So the final, Charles Mercer versus Will. Well, I've forgotten his surname.
Sorry.
Will.
It's a tough surname. Charles versus Will.
Will. That's your name now. Will.
Englishman
Will.
and a Kiwi.
So that's me. We've got the most important game to go.
Big game coming up next.
Some would say the most important game to go. My brain is already not functioning. There's food that's been waiting next to us for about 40 minutes or so.
So it's bone cold.
It's going to be completely cold again. So we're going to get gone, and we'll see you in about 20 minutes.
Yep.
Bye.
See you later, guys.